Hey everybody, CalebCast number 62 for Wednesday, June 2nd, 2010. Got a haircut yesterday. Keeps me cooler than my previously pretty long hair. Anyways, 3 unusual wildlife stories happened to me this last week, so I wanted to tell you about them. First one is there was a big, huge possum crossing the road near our house, and this was like late at night, and so it was crossing the road, and it just started walking right out in the middle of the road. And as I was getting close to him, I was like, yes, so I'll run over this possum. And so I did. I hit him with my front driver's side tire, but then by the time my rear tire got to him, he was already gone. So he apparently survived the first wheel, but he escaped before the second wheel. So I thought, man, he must be a pretty big possum. So I looked and I saw his tail kind of going into the woods on the other side of the road. So I didn't get him that time. And then secondly, I was out going for a run the next day at Rose-Rudman Park, which is in Tyler. And if you're familiar with the trail, there's one place where there's a bridge that you can run past, or you can go up on the bridge and go over the creek. And as you run past it, you can either go up the stairs on one side, or there's a ramp on the other side. So as I was running past, this old gentleman was standing right there, and he looked straight at me and he said, "Hey," something like that. I didn't understand what he was saying. I had my headphones in, but he was really animated about it. So I stopped him and said, "Hey, what's happening?" And he said, "Man, there's a snake right there on the path. There's a snake right there going up the stairs." And so I looked and saw, and there's this big brown snake with sort of a pattern design on its back. I'm pretty sure it wasn't a copperhead, but I don't know what kind of snake it was. Just a big brown snake going up the stairs on the Rose-Rudman Trail there. So I was like, man, I'm just running here. I don't have like a stick or anything that I could throw at it. So I kind of like started walking around the side of it, and it turned around, went down the stairs, and then kind of went off behind the underneath the bridge there. And sorry, there was a wreck over there I was looking at. So the snake sort of slithered off and made sure it didn't come back onto the path. And then finally, I was taking Evie and Cohen for a walk in the double stroller. And as we were walking through our neighborhood, sort of more in the Azalea district of our neighborhood, I noticed in people's yard this really decorative, really realistic looking hawk. And I thought, oh, maybe they use it there to keep, birds or something out of their flower beds. It was kind of right on the edge of a flower bed, but it looked really realistic, and I'm like, man, that's pretty cool. So I walked closer to get a closer look, and when I was about maybe 8 to 10 feet away, it hopped, and I was like, whoa, that's a real hawk. And so I looked closer, and yeah, it was for sure a real hawk. So I was like kind of concerned for the children, so I placed myself in between the hawk. It was just kind of sitting there in the yard. It didn't seem to be scared at all. So I placed myself between the hawk and the kids in the stroller, and I walked a little bit closer, pulled out my phone, which I had handy because I was using Runkeeper to track my walk, and right as I was about to snap a pic, the hawk flew off, and it left. What it was sitting there for, trying to guard, was a freshly killed squirrel. I'm sure it was going to take back to its family or whatever. But I saw it really close, and I was really surprised that the hawk let us get that close, and almost got a picture of it, but I just barely missed it. So 3 unusual wildlife stories. I don't know if it's the warm weather or what, but the wildlife, the possum, snakes, hawks, and squirrels are out in force in urban Tyler, Texas. So be careful out there. Those hawks can scratch your eyeballs out. Thanks for watching the CalebCast.